this space is going to be about that. Get ready to hear those questions that make you feel uncomfortable a little bit or may fire you up.
Right.
But it's gonna help you to question yourself.
In English, como que se me traba a veces. Like, I have an idea and it's like,
are you still translating in your head? Like,
sometimes, yeah.
Mira, hasta me da miedo. I'm traumatized. 5 years ago, you look stupid if you didn't speak English without an accent.
Right.
Today, everybody feel proud of their culture, their roots, their accents. So I don't feel as unconfident as before. But also, I want people to hear the voices of Latinas in English. You guys are gonna write questions to us. You guys can ask us for advice, but because we may look young, but we have a lot of experience. Are you gonna be open, naked, and transparent on your advice?
Of course, yes.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Naked Question, this new podcast with Fer and Ana. Why am I saying your name?
With Fer and
Ana. And we want to introduce ourselves because we want you guys to know who Fernanda, who Ana is, and how this idea came together to produce this podcast. Right, Fer?
Yeah,
Let's start with you, amiga.
oh my God, am I the one that needs to answer the question first, or should I
Introduce
away?
Introduce yourself first.
Well, I'm Fernanda. I live in D.C. I'm originally from El Paso in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua, in the frontera. And I worked for the media for a long time, just like you, Anita. And, today we're here. We're here doing a podcast.
Yes, Destiny brought us together, but we're going to tell you how we met. My name is Ana Cruz. I'm from Guanajuato, living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for about 18 years now. I'm a wife and a mom of 2 boys. My oldest is 15, and I have a toddler who is 3 years old, so you guys can imagine my crazy life. And I work in media for over 15 years, doing radio and television, and I decided to start my own business because I wasn't making money.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
And I'm still not making money, but we have a lot of fun, right? But at least it's our own dream and our own journey,
it's something
right?
that we control, and it's something that we do because we love it, not because somebody's telling us to do something.
Yes, exactly. And I started producing podcasts 4 years ago. We have a podcast fully in Spanish that you guys can check it out. It's called Rollos de Mujeres. But I met Fer over a year ago now. We have been working together for over a year. And you can tell the audience how we met, Fer.
Well, we met through a friend that I didn't know initially. She's from Dallas. Anna's from Dallas as well. And I started doing a podcast with this other friend.
You guys can check it out too.
Yes.
¿Cómo se llama?
Yes. It's called Coffee Break by Las Comadres. Me quedé así como que,
¿Cómo se llama?
I need to change to español. Yeah. And that's how I met Ana, because we interviewed her in that podcast.
Yeah.
So and then we started working together.
Yes, Fer is super creative. I like that she's super responsible, and I was looking for someone to help me with the podcast because for those that don't know, producing a podcast, it's a lot of work.
It is.
A lot of work, especially for people like me that is very perfectionist, and I'm a crazy planner.
We both are.
Yeah, so I found Fernanda and I was like, hey, I need help. Are you willing to work in these projects with me? And it has been over a year now.
Yeah,
but it's funny because she lives in DC and I'm here in Dallas. And a couple months ago, we met in person for the very first time, right?
Yeah.
Fer, why did you decide to join this craziness? Rollos de Mujeres production and now the podcast, Naked Questions.
I don't know. I feel like you have such a passion for your project que lo transmites. And I love that. Like, I love working with passionate people that care about their projects. You're also a mom, and that, to me, that's like, I don't know how you do it, girl. Like, it's just like, y luego con uno de 15, and then a toddler, and then a wife, and then Dallas. This is my first time in Dallas, and it's crazy. Like, distances here are crazy. and then you also take care of your own project, your own, tu bebé, right? And I love that, and I really como que I believe in your project, so that's why I was like, yes, of course, it's a pleasure to work together.
Thank you, mi Fer. And she has been working as part of the Rollos de Mujeres team, but it was more behind the camera, right?
Yeah.
Like in production, creativity, and stuff. But then we were like, we should do something in English. And it's when...
And here we are.
Yes, it's when Naked Question came to life.
Yes.
But we want to be very transparent with you because that's Naked Question is about the space where we ask those naked questions that normally we are afraid of asking or even afraid of answering too. So this space is going to be about that. Get ready to hear those questions that make you feel uncomfortable a little bit or may fire you up.
Right.
But it's going to help you to question yourself as well.
Exactly.
To be honest with you, Fer, I was a little afraid of doing things in English.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah?
Because it's not natural. I feel like, it's just like, to me, it doesn't come as natural. I'm more comfortable, talking in Spanish. And in English, como que se me traba a veces. Like, I have an idea, and it's like,
are you still translating in your head? Like
sometimes, yeah.
But it's funny because you were born in a border city, and for you, it's very common to cross the border and you went to college here in the U.S.
Yes, but the rest of my education was in Mexico, so I was always speaking Spanish. And then the other thing is that El Paso, it's a very Mexican and like it's a small city, so it's like everybody speaks Spanish.
Okay.
Allá todo el mundo te habla en español.
Sí.
So it's like,
so they don't force. Oh, you don't feel forced to.
It only happened, like the only time I felt like I needed to speak English was in college.
Okay.
Because, the classes are in English and all that. So that's when I started practicing English a lot more. But other than that, I wouldn't speak English. Yeah.
So this is going to be new for us, guys. So you got to be patient. You got to help us. And we accept criticism.
For sure. Constructive criticism.
Constructive feedback. So you guys can leave us comments if you want to correct a word that we don't say right.
Yes, please.
We don't get mad. You are welcome. For me, the same. Well, I was raised and born in Mexico. I went to college in Mexico. And I felt very proud of me by the fact that I was very good in Spanish grammar because I studied journalism. And I was one of those that grab a newspaper every morning and I was literally like correcting the grammar errors in the newspapers. So I felt very proud of myself. I loved writing. So I was a very good writer in Spanish, and my whole career was in Spanish here in the US. Like I did radio in Spanish. I worked for CBS Radio for 7-8 years, and then I worked for Azteca America for another 3-4 years, and then I did things with Telemundo, with Univision, like special collaborations, but it was all in Spanish. I felt como pez en el agua. And then I started working for a company where everything was in English. So it was like a very crazy switch. And people always told me, you gotta do things in English.
Was that the first time that you ever felt like you needed to, learn or talk in English like a lot more when you started working with this company?
So I thought I was bilingual because in Mexico, my whole, I will say since middle school, I took English classes.
Okay.
So I thought I knew what I was writing, saying, and thinking. But no, when I came to the U.S., it's completely different.
Yeah.
The pronunciation, the ¿cómo se dice? Slangs. Like,
the slangs, yeah.
Yeah, like everything is different if you learn English in school. Like I remember speaking this way. Hi, my name is Ana. How are you guys doing today?
Yes,
and no one speaks like that, right? They make fun of me. But when I worked with this company, I had to force myself because it was not using another language. It was an engineering language. So it was very complicated. Yeah. And also, I married a half gringo who doesn't speak Spanish.
That's what I was going to say. Like, he doesn't speak Spanish.
Yes. So at home, I'm the only one that speaks Spanish, and I force my kids to speak Spanish. So I think that helped me, Fer, too. Because when I have to work in English, I always feel unconfident. But my husband is like, you always speak English at home, so how do you feel uncomfortable? And this is why, because I never wanted to look stupid. Or I never wanted to look like I don't know what I'm saying.
Right.
Because like Sofia Vergara says, I swear, guys, I am very, very smart in Spanish.
But in English, I'm not that smart.
I need to think about it and put the words together and translate stuff in my head. But I guess that happened to you too, right?
Yeah. No, completely. Like when I was in college, I remember, because I was always like, I had a certain como cercanía with the English language. And I would watch TV in English. I would listen to, American music, a lot of things. But I didn't feel the need to, speak until I went to college. Because I would go to like a McDonald's or like a restaurant or something.
Were your friends Latinos or
Yes,
or
all of
what?
them. All of them were Mexican.
Really?
Yeah.
You never had like a gringo friend or a gringa friend?
Never.
Oh, wow.
Never until college. Yeah, until college.
And Fer is like, even now.
I know. No, todavía, yes.
¿En serio?
It's funny. Yes, I don't have like, it's just.
A lot of.
No, the only one and it's not even like gringo because his family is from Mexico. I think they're from Durango, if I'm not mistaken. But he was born in the U.S. and he only speaks English.
Okay.
A little bit of Espanol, but, he's more comfortable speaking in English. And I speak English with him. But if I don't know a word or something, I would say it in Spanish and he understands. And that's the way it is with, I believe, all my friends.
So your day-to-day is like Spanish?
Spanish. Most of the time, yes. And my boyfriend, it's also like bilingual. He knows like a bunch of languages. So.
But he speaks in Spanish to you?
We speak in pocho, like both English, Español, and everything ahí, lo que salga.
Depende. Now, how do you fight better, in Spanish or in English? Cuando peleas con tu novio.
It's funny, Ana. It's super funny because I'm like, I feel more comfortable having a conversation, like a serious conversation in Spanish, right? But if I'm like pissed, I can say a lot of things in English. Like I feel comfortable como que gritando ahí in English.
I was going to say that because sometimes we are working together and stuff and I'm like, how do you say this? For some reason, Fer knows all the bad words. No, but that's interesting. Well, so that's why we now are challenging ourselves and we're going to do this podcast in English. I think the main reason for
hold on.
What?
I have a question to ask. I'm like, do you have a word in English that you're like, you just have a hard time pronunciating it?
A lot.
Like, or a specific word that it's like.
Yes.
You just
she
don't know.
knows because I always keep those words. So I have two words.
Okay.
Sheet, like a piece
Paper?
of paper. Like
sheet.
my husband says that I always say it like
I don't know if I say it
caca,
correct.
like shit.
Like shit.
And that's another word. Playa, I don't even
beach.
give myself permission of saying it porque no la puedo decir.
Yeah,
Playa,
beach.
I say the bad word.
You say bitch instead of
pero
beach.
I try and I can't.
Right.
Mira, hasta me da miedo. I'm traumatized. When I started working in radio, my first job was doing the traffic report. And I remember there is
Please tell me you weren't close to a beach.
No, there is a very famous or big street here in the DFW area in Fort Worth que se llama esa Beach Street. Algo así.
Beach,
And then I always avoid giving the report of accidents in that street because I didn't want to say it on air. Because if you guys don't know, every time you say a bad word in radio, you get a fine because you can't say bad words on radio, on open radio or general
like
public radio. And then there was a really bad accident. I think it was like 2 or 3 18-wheelers. Like it was something chaotic in that area. And I gave my report and I was walking out the cabin and my boss came and he's like, Anita, did you see what happened in Fort Worth? And I was like, oh, yeah. Why you didn't say anything? And I'm like,
Oh my
gosh. And I had to go back and add the accident to my report in the next hour. So I did it, and I swear, Fer, like there was people calling the radio station, laughing their asses,
Oh my
saying
God.
like, hey, Ana dijo perra en vez de playa. Yo pensé, I thought mi jefe and my boss was going to get mad at me and he was going to fire me. But he was laughing too. And he was like, I see now why you didn't want to give the report.
Yes.
See, so are those two words. What about you?
I think that I used to have a hard time pronunciating the word propósito, like
Purpose?
purpose.
See?
I remember I had my producer like helping me. We would write in Spanish because I also work for radio, and it was everything in Spanish. So I don't know why we were reading something. I think we were reading a press release, and that word was like somewhere in there, and I was like and I had to say like propósito, and she was like purpose. So I remember I literally I was sitting like right in front of her, and I was like, how? And she was like, purpose. And I still remember like how she moved like her mouth, and I was like, purpose. Now I can say it, but I remember I used to have a really hard time saying that word. Yeah.
What people don't know is that the way we move our tongue and muscles inside our mouths are completely different depending of the language that you speak. But I was very traumatized by my pronunciation until 3 weeks ago. Until you guys pushed me to do this podcast. But I think it's very different now from 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, you look stupid if you didn't speak English without an accent.
Right.
Today, everybody feel proud of their culture, their roots, their accent. So I don't feel as unconfident as before.
Right.
But like I say, please be patient. Anyways, after our traumas about our language and issues and stuff, Fer, when we were thinking about naked questions, we were like, I think we changed the name like 10 times.
Yes.
We changed the cover. We changed the concept.
Everything.
But I feel like the most important thing for us about this project is that we wanted a space where we talk about things that not many people are willing to ask, not many people are willing to respond
or to share
safely, right?
Right.
But also I want people to hear the voices of Latinas in English. Because with Rollos de Mujeres, I feel very proud that we have been working so hard to motivate, inspire, and educate Latinas in many topics. But I still feel that in English, there is no many representation, right, of us.
Right, yeah.
Or at least people like us.
Like us,
because there are the second generations that they speak perfect the language or they...
That is true.
But not as like us trying to adapt to a country, a culture, and a language.
Exactly, that is true. I never thought of that. Now that you're saying it, yeah, because I can think of like several podcasts that I know that are good, but they're Latinas that I'm guessing they speak more English. They were born speaking English, like you were saying, like second generation. And for us, it's just like so weird because we speak more Spanish. Sí. We kind of like lived in Mexico, right? So yeah, I don't see a lot of that now that you're mentioning that. So yeah, that's true.
So get ready because it's going to be an amazing season what's coming. Yes. We have been getting a lot of questions from you guys.
A lot of chismecito and stories and yes.
So pretty much the concept is, so get ready and get a piece of paper or your phone. Now no one uses. Sorry, Fer, we are going to talk about that too.
Facts.
The H's difference between Fer and I. El beeper, saquen el beeper.
El beeper.
Because the concept is that you guys are going to write questions to us. You guys can ask us for advice, but because we may look young, but we have a lot of experience.
That is true. Think of us like
your sister.
Like a Reddit.
Yes.
You know, kind of like Reddit, but you're going to have our faces here. We're going to be answering your questions. We're going to be talking about your situations. So
about everything, right?
About everything.
Love, relationships, motherhood, in my case.
Ozempic.
Self-confidence at work. Because that's something that I really like about this project and working with you, Fer, because I feel like I'm in a completely different era or década than you.
Right.
So I'm open to say my age. I don't know how you, I'm open to say my age. I don't know how you feel about saying your age. I am 42 and I may not have a lot of experience, but I feel like I have experience working with different companies, doing different things.
Yeah.
A lot of like not too nice things happen to me. So I learn a lot from that. And if I can give you any advice from the bottom of my heart, I'm open to do that for you. But to be honest with you, like, I don't know what's going on with the new generations.
Con la
like,
chaviza.
Con la chaviza. O sea, yo ya
That's
soy una
not even
ñora.
oh my
I don't know what's going on. Like, Fer tells me his names, songs that I have no idea.
Oh, the reggaeton songs that you don't like, Ana.
No, I don't like reggaeton. But also we may have younger audience that maybe still dating or starting college.
Yeah.
And if we can give you advice on that, here we have Fer too, that you are not too far from college and also you are still no, me anda atorando, perdón. No on the dating
Not in the
stage,
dating
but
scene,
not married
but
yet too.
But I have a lot of stories on that. But yeah.
Are you gonna be open, naked, and transparent on your advice?
Of course. Yes.
Okay.
Are you, Anita?
Yes. I'm gonna ask my husband not to listen to the podcast.
Oh my God. We're going to have to have him restricted or something.
Wait, not even my husband, my teenager. Mom, what did you say? I didn't know that.
Ajá, que te voy descubriendo que. Ajá.
Sabía que tenías historias sucias.
Yes. Uy, no.
Yes, so get ready. Please start subscribing to our Instagram account and also
You can
to
find
your
us
YouTube
as
channel.
Naked Questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Aquí, dice Ana que aquí.
Aquí.
I'm doing all this here.
Your social media too, Fer?
You can find me as Fernanda León. What about you?
Ajá, Rollos de Mujeres at everywhere, all the social media platforms, and rollosdemujeres.com. So, are you ready for this, Fer?
Yes.
You're not gonna quit anytime soon? If Fer
I'm
dice,
here.
Fer dice, con que me trates mejor que en los otros lugares.
Listo con eso.
So, welcome to Naked Questions with
Fernanda
y Ana. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Qué miedo.